15th May 2023. This news flash, I'm going to talk about that strike by the Russians on the ammo dump in Ukraine. It was a massive explosion, and if you look at these images, just look at that. It is an enormous explosion, and it looks extremely suspicious. Take in consideration the Russians sent a missile into a Ukrainian ammo storage facility. Look at that explosion. There are some secondary explosions. Look at that cloud shape. I've got questions about it, obviously. You should too. The guy that did the tweet said, Russia is rapidly demilitarizing the entire NATO. A stockpile after stockpile is destroyed with increasing bombardments. Now, that is something that the West should take note of. That is a hell of a lot of ammo that has been blown up there. And then this guy responded to it and he said, I think it's a brilliant strategy. Russians don't even need to invade any country, but wait for the country to send their weapons for demolition. Yes, that is what's happening there. But we have to look carefully at that ammo dump. Listen to this. The fire at the site of a missile attack on a military warehouse in Khmelnytsky is extinguished by robots remotely. 1 out of 2. Either Ukraine has become an advanced robotic power like Japan, or something radioactive has exploded there. That is, those same shells with depleted uranium from the UK, maybe, or the West gave Ukraine nuclear weapons. This is serious, and you need to take note of it. This is what the West is doing in the Ukraine. But they blame the Russians of war crimes and all types of nonsense. In the meantime, the real war criminals sits in Brussels and in Washington. This is what's going on here. Now, here is another comment on that. Experts draw attention to the fact that the fire at the site of the missile attack on military warehouse in Khmelnytsky is being extinguished remotely by robots. Dosimetric patrols work in the city. Measurements of the radiation background are carried out in uncharacteristic places. If earlier they were made in the area where the Khmelnytsky NPP was located, now they are made in the regional center, in the west of the region and in Ternopil. After arriving at the military warehouse, the wind has blown in a westerly direction. The authorities are silent about the work of patrols. My friends from Ukraine reported that the Westerners are panicking. They're collecting belongings and scratch away from Khmelnytsky and from Lviv and Ternopil. From everywhere where there are Ukrainian military units, warehouses, repair shops. Locals whispered that the detonated warehouse in Khmelnytsky was filled to the brim with depleted uranium shells, and my sources confirmed this, writes political scientist Yuri Kot. After the explosion, an increase in gamma radiation was recorded in the city. The release continues to grow. Given that depleted uranium emits a relatively small dose of gamma radiation, the current surge indicates the destruction of a very large stockpile of munitions, which sent uranium dust into the air. This is horrific. The Russians warned the British about this, but the Brits did not listen, and the West cheered them on The West is quiet. Europe is quiet. This is what they are doing. And the fallout from these things will have serious consequences for the people. But the UK is really, really looking to be calibrated. I cannot understand what the fuck is wrong with the British. What are they doing? Why are they constantly stepping up? They send also Storm cruise missiles. And what happened to those cruise missiles? On the first day of use, the Ukrainian Zazis shot 2 of those missiles into Lugansk, a city busy celebrating their Republic Day. Is that using Western weapons to fight the Russians? No. It is there to terrorize the public, terrorize the civilians. And I'm so fed up. That Zazi stalker of mine also, he makes lots of stories if there's a single report anywhere of 1 or 2 Russian failures. But his mouth is closed about the fact that they are shooting and killing civilians. But what can you expect from a guy like that? Nazi behavior. They don't care about other people's lives. But for me, the most disturbing thing is that the British seems dead set on starting a war with Russia on their own. And they will deserve it if Russia sends them a few missiles. But let me stop on that. Please give me a like and subscribe and share the thing. Thank you.